Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russell from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that no other YouTubers dare say. Isn't that right, Sam Jones? Keep doing it, Sam. Make sure you rinse your mouth out with TCP. That's what I keep telling Jam Roly Poly. Keeps piping up, doesn't he? So I'm going to pipe up. Every time Jam Roly Poly pipes up, I'm going to pipe up. How's about that one? And just correct the rubbish that comes out of his north. It's holding in our Jam Roly Poly. When the ice breaks, I'll be waiting. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Cry? Or send me love letters? Hey, love letters straight from your heart. Hey, what you should do, you should rinse your mouth out with salty water, Jam Roly Poly. Get salt germs off your gums and that makes your teeth glisten. Always remember that. Hot, salty water, sea salt, not the cheap stuff that you get in cafes. Sea salt, all right, pink crystallized sea salt. You get it from Asda. Rinse your mouth out, cup of kettle water, big spoon in, stir it. 30 seconds. Teeth glisten then. You have good strong gums then. All right. If you're doing plenty of that, you need to rinse your mouth out. Right. Bean! Run a bean, could have been, should have been, never been, baked bean, creepy bean, beanie. Oh, Rumpelstiltskin. We're on to you. We're on to old Rumpel. We're on to you, lad, aren't we? Hey? So Thomas Asomba, he won, didn't he? On Izzy and Ash's show. Thomas Asomba. That's a name from the past. That name were coming up every single day in my first week for Big Ron 9 years ago. Every day, Thomas Asomba this, Thomas Asomba that. Who were Jaffa's fighter at the time. And Dennis were like, ooh, should we put Wally Dinning with Thomas Asomba? I were like that. You'll lose. Look what happened. Wally didn't got beat, didn't he? I think he got stopped. Or in 11th. We were down a few times at 11th. We were down early in fight, around 3 or 4. But he got beat. But what I remember about that night is I was 45-year-old on my birthday. It might have been day after my birthday, actually. 45. Well, me and my mate Patrick, Pat, old Pattycus, me and him, in back of Phil Jeffries, Black Vogue, going down Attercliffe faster than Billy Joe and Frankie Gavin got arrested for speeding out. We went down there that night and I was like, we're going to die. We're going to die. Jaffa in front there just wanted to get on. What other guy? What other guys? Bearded kids. It's Sean or Stephen, trainer. Forget now, nice guy, but yeah, reminds me not to go in a car with Phil Jeffries ever again. Because he can't drive for toffee. Frightened me to death going to that arena that night, and then he didn't even want to have a drink after. They came, knocked smoke out Dennis's fighter. They came for a couple of days actually, because there was a press conference, Wayne and that. Knocked Dennis's guy out and then left. Didn't even want to come for a drink after. Well, unbelievable. That was that. That were it. That was the Thomas Asomba story. Flattened Dennis's main guy. Unbelievable. What else was Stevie Levy got a win. White Rhino's charged there. Go on, White Rhino. This is what I see happening for Stevie Levy. I see Rhino manoeuvring her into a position and getting a world title. She looks to me like she can pace herself now. Whereas before, I think she was a bit like that. But she looks like she was pacing herself, you know, waiting for that second wind, which is horrible from what I've heard. But eventually she got it all together and she performed really good. She's quite got that bit of an edge to her now, hasn't she? Whereas before it was a bit moggy, wasn't it? What you should do, Dave, just zip her mouth up and you speak for her. All right, but I'm going to put her in the Shannon Courtney bracket now. She's not Savannah, Natasha, and Chantel Cameron in that sort of bracket. Lauren Price, Caroline DeBar, but she's one of them Shannon Courtney sort of Ebony Bridges sort of like level. And I think Shannon Courtney and Ebony Bridges have made a few quid out of that job, haven't they? And done well. And I think that Stevie Levy can be on that sort of level. Because let's have it right. She's not gonna be a pundit, is she? They're not gonna risk her as a pundit. Right? No. Because first thing that comes into her head, she's gonna be like me, isn't she? She's gonna have no filter. So she's gonna have to work on her fighting ability, but she's got that gritty style, I think, now. And like Shannon Courtney and Ebony Bridges, I think that you can end up with a few quid out of the job. So good luck to her. White Rhino might have found something that he's actually good at. But this is what I see happening for White Rhino. I see him about 25 stone in about 18 months from now. Big old beard on him. I see him as one of them guys that just shuffles around to shows with his fighters. He'll probably get a walking stick when he gets to 35, because that's what they do, don't they? In boxing, get a walking stick and do the job properly. And he'll be a face on the scene. That's what I see happening to him. I see him in like an old Man United sharp substitute ski jacket thing where you're ripping it or something, and him going around for years and that, and with grey silver wings like Paulie Walnuts. Because he's not going to get up in the morning and do any runs like moi, is he? So, and that boxing thing, I think that's gone from him now. But training, let's hope that White Rhino can put all his effort into something that he didn't put all his effort into when he was fighting. That's how I look at it. So good luck to him. And that another win for one of his other guys, Joe Hayden, is it? He got a win. Liam Cameron flattened Harry Matthews on his show and Ash's show, round one. I'm glad. I like Liam. He's been a good friend of mine for years. Harry Matthews, not my cup of tea. Why were he even in ring? I don't know. Who dug him up? I don't know, but it's what it is. It's Big Freeze against White Collar Wardley, aka the Roadman. Who do I see winning that? I see Wardley winning that by KO. But I'm not going to write Big Freeze off. But if Big Freeze loses that, he'll be known as the guy who lost to a white collar, won't he? That's what he'll be known as. I know it's a bit harsh, that, considering he's a British champion and he's beat everybody by knockout at set one, and he's nearly had double fights. Big Freeze has had, but if Big Freeze pulls that off, he's gate crashed the Saudi scene, hasn't he? But if the Roadman Wardley does it, White Collar Wardley, he's gate crashed it as well. So all roads lead to Saudi. You know, somebody keeps leaving comments saying, "Oh, it's a Saudi takeover, it's this and that." Listen to me, mate. Listen to this. 2 undisputed fights for heavyweight championship of the world. December's 23rd, February 17th. They're gone, cancelled, right? But it's a takeover, is it? The football league in Saudi is a shambles, an absolute shambles. All people are doing is brassing themselves off for money while it's there. It's a shambles. You all know it. Steven Gerrard and everybody else who was playing football out there, they all know it, but they're not bothered. It's a bit like Bestie when he went out to play in America. He was picking up 300 quid a week. He was happy because he was bumming about in England doing now. So, yeah, football and boxing's booming out there in Saudi, isn't it? Absolutely booming. It's booming that much that Gerard hasn't won a game, has he, in 10 matches or something like that. He's the Gary Neville of management. But to be fair, he did win something in Scotland, but it's a 2-horse race, so does that even count? So no, no. Boxing isn't booming in Saudi. Not when they can't get the fights on. Now, I've just pointed out to you before you all start leaving comments. 2 cancellations we've had. If there's a third one for May, what does that say for boxing? If this fight doesn't happen on May 18th, what then? Then what? Well, I'll just say welcome to the party. It's called boxing. Get over it. So we've spoke about It's Big Freeze against the Roadman. But we will see. Like I said, the Saudis are taking over. Everybody keeps saying, and look, more people in comment section going on about it. Darren Britton. Darren Britton, is it? Is that even your real name? Come on, Porky's Corner. You got plenty to say on comment section. Plenty rattle. Come on here, porkycorner@mail.com. Send me your phone number and your email, and somebody will get back to you and book a slot. And we'll have a little chat about boxing's booming and football's booming in Saudi. What? No, it isn't. It isn't. There's a lot of money there, but you don't mean to say that it's booming. Look at the quality of the footballers they've got out there. They're all washed up players looking for pensions. That's all. And look at these fights here with Fury and Usyk. 2 cancellations. We're looking for a third one. Oh, by the way, we've got Joshua fighting in a massive fight against a guy in his second boxing fight. But boxing's booming. Who's putting on the best domestic clashes at the moment? Sky, innit? And it's going under radar because the YouTubers are not getting any kudos, are they? Because they daren't. They daren't. They've got 2 paymasters, Bricktop and Eddie Hills, these YouTubers, and that's all they're bothered about at the moment. They're not interested in Dan Aziz, Boatsi, or It's Big Freeze and Wardley. It's Big Freeze against Wardley should be getting massive viewing figures leading up to it, but it won't because these people won't get the airtime. That's just how it goes, isn't it? I'm afraid. But it is what it is. But Darren Britton, you're more than welcome on here. Come on, let's see what you're about. What are you afraid of? A bit like Big Joe Egan. What's he afraid of? We'll come to him. We'll come to him. Oh, and I'm not really bothered about his sparring stories because I covered that 10 years ago with him. So that didn't bother me, that. Does it? Big jam roly-poly. You know what I wanted you on here for, don't you? Well, you don't want to talk about that, so I'm going to have to do it for you. I'll be seeing you. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Booyaka.